Hey, it's Silverfuse here, and this is a Lux and Heimer deck that I played on stream earlier today. It's far from optimized, definitely not what I feel is the best build, but is what I'm currently working on, and I'm not quite sure where I want to go with it next. Maybe it's just not as good as I think it is. I don't know, there's something about Heimer that just feels like he just has this lot of inconsistencies because of Flash of Brilliance and waiting for him at a certain time, and if you don't draw him then the deck is a bunch of spells and that makes it really hard, and it feels like you have to high roll a bit to get lucky. Lux helps with that a bit. Generally what this deck is looking to do is you are mulliganing hard for the Unlicensed Innovation or for the Remembrance. You're skipping your first two turns and then you're playing that on 3, really hoping that your opponent is an Ionia and running Deny. That can very much put a kink in your plans. And you're also mulliganing potentially for Mageseeker and Cider, and then you can play that on turn 4. If you're against a control list, you can mulligan for Heimer and the Flash of Brilliance, but I would say mulligan for these two cards the hardest. They're very important because they allow everything else to go off. There's definitely other considerations for adding more creatures. Personally, I like adding more creatures because I feel like having all these spells you rely on Heimer way too much, and I think that makes the deck really inconsistent, but I wanted to try a version that had mostly just the PNZ and Demasia's spells. I added quite a few 3-cost, and I also put Relentless in there, but really it's probably a card that I'll take out. It's really a win more card because if you are already flooding the board with Heimer turrets and then you're playing Relentless Pursuit, yeah, you can win a turn earlier, but is it really necessary? I wouldn't say so. There's probably better things I could add in instead. I also want to let you all know that I will be streaming on Twitch every weekday from 1 to 5 p.m. CST, and a big reasoning for that is that I am a teacher as my regular job, and obviously the schools have shut down, at least in my state, so I am no longer teaching, and then I also work as the rec center as an umpire and a referee, and that is also shut down for now. So both my jobs are gone as the time being. I can return to them teaching in August and the referee whenever that happens. Hopefully I get to do some softball, but that's my normal jobs and I don't have those currently, so I will be focusing on making content and hopefully doing more content than usual. I'm hoping to do YouTube videos 6 to 7 days a week, maybe adding some more here and there. I don't have an editor, I do all the editing myself, so it is me taking the time to go through and edit things. I make all the thumbnails and all that, so it is very time consuming along with streaming, but I want to push myself and do as much as I can with it. So if you're interested, you can follow me on Twitch at Silverfuse and Twitter Silverfuse Plays, and also like, subscribes, comments, all that all helps me out as I start really trying to focus on content creation and seeing what I can do with it. And now I'll go ahead and get onto the games, and I hope you enjoy them. Before we get to the games, I want to remind you that I am streaming during this, so my conversation and the way that I talk might be a little bit different than when I just record flat out for YouTube. Sometimes I'll be recording for YouTube in particular, and other times I'm going to just take pieces from my VODs, or I'll take some less edited VOD pieces. It's going to be a range of content, so I understand if you like some of the highlight type content better, or if you like watching a VOD as well. People have different ideas of what they like, so I understand that. I think, in general, it was less of a problem for me in Elder Scrolls Legends, just because at some point, people had to admit that I was actually decent at the game and knew what I was talking about. Like, I think that is a conclusion that people had to make at some point, but I feel like if I treat the game seriously, it takes people longer to take me seriously. I think that is a thing for sure, but it's just life. Same though. I got Garen. I'd like them to take the trade, thanks. So I got double this. I got 2 Mageseeker Persuaders. I think I play those instead of the Mageseeker Insider. I got more control this way. They might play Insider too though.
I will keep us safe.
Two for oneing. I don't want a 2 for 1. First started Tesla and I was like, who's this girl?
My heart and soul.
Yeah, there aren't many of us. think I skip here. And I think I play barrier. Actually. There's so many decisions to make here, and wow. Play this. I think they'll hold off if I play that.
Strike down the corrupt. No sympathy for sorcery.
No sympathy for sorcery. Same though. That's a nice thermo beam. What's a 2 cost I can play?
Stand in judgment.
It's Mystic Shot is the answer.
He is the first of many foes.
Do this first. Play this if they barrier, then we play the thermogenic beam after. If they don't, then we play Remembrance.
Contain the arcane.
So they just played it where they can't play barrier. It's interesting. Single combat cheater. Just kidding, they're not actually. Do I want to play barrier or get excited? Probably the barrier. I can get excited less here. I don't want to discard everything. I might get rid of the other to get excited. Or I prefer to watch streamers and YouTubers who don't have much of an ego. That tends to be the females, but not always. I don't really, quite honestly, I don't really watch too many people for YouTube and stuff. I watch every once in a while, but generally I'm just like so busy doing stuff anyway. And I also worry that I will if you're around someone or see something, then you end up like acting or doing similar things to them. It's important to me to make sure that I always like have my own style and that I don't ever like copy someone else's style or their decks and stuff like that. Or if I do copy their decks, I want to make sure I give them, be like, oh, this is who I got the idea from. Like that's important too. So that's one of the reasons I don't watch people on YouTube as much, is because I want to make sure that I'm me and not be like, oh, that person's successful, so I want to do something like they're doing. That's always really important to me. It shows me that you can still be good at video games without having that personality type, which is good because I'm kind of insecure about my skills. I think everyone feels like that to an extent. It's really easy to feel that way. I'm gonna do this. I always feel like I have to keep proving people that I actually know what I'm talking about. Like I feel like I have to prove that all the time. And it is a lot of pressure sometimes. A beacon through the dark. Did this first because I want to play Remembrance next. They also decided they wanted to. Sad day for you. They could single combat this, but it doesn't work anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's only so much. Yeah, I called it. I called it. I told you that was what was going on. It's great because now I can play my Remembrance. Haha. I'm very happy with the way that went down. That was great. So we have a nice initiative here. We have the board. They lost their Lux. That was huge. Killing their Lux. We killed their Garen too. They don't have Heimer, but I'm really bad at drawing Heimer. We have enough for barrier regardless. However, yeah, it's at 6. So I'll just play this now. Sweet. Alright, we'll go and play this now. Because we can only protect one thing. I wish I had my karma going. Lux Karma is just too fun. Wow, they had them all. Okay. So I'm gonna protect this or this. Yep, we'll do this, and we'll protect the one with more health. We also get an elite from this. Actually getting 2 Swift Wings was incredible, because the ability to just get some more resources. Ah, man, I wish you weren't an elite anymore. We were all excited for you. Happy for your graduation to the elite class. But now we're all disappointed. Okay, cool. We won that one. I'm very happy with the way that game went down. I think I played it really well. I will mark that game because I'm happy with the way I played it. I'm sorry. I haven't moved much to rank at all though. I played some pretty long games. Yep, that gave Aliencer a big card pool by adding a weak card. Yeah. Which I know some people like that idea because like then there's more downside to the card, but personally I would say I like it less because I like the card pool to be consistent in power level, because then, you know, like the problem with Hearthstone is like you would play a card and be like, get a random demon and you could get an imp for 0/1, or you could get a legendary like Illidan Storm Rage or something like that, a 7/5 that creates 2/1s whenever you play a card or a spell. Like, that's stupid. That range, I want the range to be small so I know exactly what I'm getting, and then I can accurately determine the power level of the card, instead of saying, I really just want to high roll this card and hopefully just get out a blowout card. Same thing happened with the dragons right now too. Oh yeah, sure. So what I'm mulliganing in for the deck is I'm really just looking for a 6 cost that I can play on 3. So in this case, you saw me kill everything except for Remembrance. The other things that I might look for is maybe a single combat. Oh, I meant to say attack. I'm sorry, person. If I have Heimer, it also depends too on what I'm playing against. So like this is a control list. And so against a control list, I'm more likely to keep Heimer and Flash of Brilliance if they're together, if I do have a turn 3 Remembrance. But what I'm generally looking for is Remembrance or the other 6 cost, the illegal contraption maker thing, or this is really tempting to use a single combat here because I can't use a freeze. Other times I can use a freeze and then I don't waste as much mana. And then I'm looking for my Mageseekers after that. So in this case I'm looking for Remembrance and Contraption, and then the Mageseeker in center, the one that's the 4 mana 6/5. Grasp of the Undying is open. Sorry, I kind of went over that quick. Does that make sense? That I'm generally looking for one of these 6 cost. And then I'm looking for Heimer and Flash of Brilliance against the slower opponents. And go for a Lux.
The sun is shining. We should too.
Nothing escapes my watch.
Illuminate the enemy.
They could Vile Feast. That's okay. I just had a midterm online. How did it go? Was it easier online, Soap? It's good to see ya. I talked about you earlier. I talked about how one time YouTube marked one of your comments to me as spam, because that happened to someone else in chat where it said that their YouTube comment was spam, and I felt bad about it. Meaning we had to write? What do you mean you had to write? Please write out and sign the following pledge at the end of your answers. I affirm that I did not give or receive any unauthorized help this examination. All the work is my own. I can believe that they had you all do that. This is a burst, so I'm fine with using it. How'd it go? That really sucks. I really wanted to use that barrier with the Heimer. Need my flash of brilliance, please.
Who would face me?
This can't go with single combat.
They fear tomorrow, the fools.
Well, we won't even need to do that. If you single combat this, it still does the damage. Yeah, I'll do that. I don't want to block Lux. I don't want her to get low. Integrity pledge without Proctor. Not that I cheat or anything. I'm sure. Dang it. Who plays that? I kind of scuffed up some of the work for a couple of my answers, but the answers are right, I'm pretty sure. How does it... Oh yeah, it is online. Yeah, it's really weird to think about. I don't like having to waste all this mana. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Well, I'm glad that at least the answers are right. I mean, that's something. Things that probably went okay. It was turned into open book. There was a similar question on previous midterm, and I was following that work. So they did say open book was alright. I mean, my school had it like that too sometimes. But essentially what my professor would say is like, yeah, it's open book if it's at home. Actually, I don't actually think I had any exams online. I wish I did. That'd be kind of sweet. This is so strange, but I think I might see a way. It's just crazy how many resources I have to dump into Tryndamere. So many resources. Where's my judgment? Huh?
Death itself can't stop me. Never fear.
Shine with me.
So I accidentally put 1 instead of 5/2 for one of the coefficients of a polynomial. Oh wait, 1 second. What did they just kill? What a play, what a play. All these lines, they really do need to change it to red. So we did counter atrocity number 1. There could be another one though. Sorry. It was focusing. Don't want to give him a card. Then I said that the graph function didn't circle around the complex plane because the imaginary part of PIY didn't vanish, but the P had like 4 zeros, which means that it goes around the complex plane 2 times. Strange part is... they're gonna atrocity me?
Stand back. I'll contain the threat.
Who's the threat here?
War Mothers? Doesn't quite win them the game. I don't think. That hurts.
Eternal winter. Answers, I have them.
The rest of my work for that question followed the graph circle and complex plane twice, so it looks pretty sus. Classic. I'm going for the attack. The attack damage carry.
Charge! Move down, Matt.
Wait. Math. Block. That doesn't do enough.
I will endure.
Look out for reavers. Ready the torches. Oh! Alert the village.
Prismatic barrier saves the Lux.
Us in my way.
That's not what I wanted. So in other more clear words, I said the graph didn't circle the complex plane at all, but the calculation following it was soon the correct statement, which is the graph circles the complex plane twice. Yeah. That's
Magic
definitely...
corrupts the mafia from within.
I remember having problems like that, where things just didn't make sense in some ways, but it's like, you know what? No, it doesn't matter if this dies.
Never back down from what you believe.
Face me.
This is it. Killing the elusive is weird there. I needed something to die so it didn't heal, but I think the elusive was too much of the win condition.
The War Mother will unite us all.
Hi, Lux. You a bit late.
The sun is shining. We should too.
Okay, dude. When people do that, is it ever right to rope them? Because sometimes I really want to.
The spirit of winter.
I'm glad that you can play War Mothers. It's just so obnoxious. So obnoxious.